Gandamu Shmo. Hello, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a review of the RG P-Bandai Lightning Zaku 2. This isn't going to be a particularly long video because a lot of the stuff covered in this that I would normally cover, articulation, size comparison, and so on, you can actually find in the review I did for the RG Zaku Mine Layer. I'm just pretty much going to talk a little bit about the build process and the accessories and just some overall thoughts. So that being said, let's get started. So getting started, the build process of this was not that hard. It was pretty standard in terms of the RG Zaku. If you built any of these before, you'll know what that's like. It's very similar if you built the standard release, like Johnny Raiden or Char or the Zaku 2, like the Grunt Zaku. This is actually the fourth time I've built this kit. I built the Mine Layer, the Char, the Eric Mansfield, the Johnny Raiden, and now actually the Uma Lightning. So it's the fifth time I built this kit. So got a little bit of familiarity with it. If you want to see what the build process was like, go check out the Zaku 2 Mine Layer that I mentioned earlier. But what's different about this is with the Mine Layer, that was a 80% to 90% the same kit, but at least that one had a different backpack. So and a different little piece with the head unit in the back. So there are at least some differences. This is exactly the same as any of the others, but what is a little different is that you get a lot of extra parts. I was actually surprised. If you saw the unboxing, you would see that I thought maybe that there would be a couple differences considering how many extra pieces you get, but no, you get a lot of extra plastic. And like I said, always appreciated when you get a unique manual, not just a standard, Char Zaku 2 real grade and then a little leaflet that shows you the differences. No, this is virtually the same. You get some different stickers, of course. That's what these P-Bandai kit reskins excel at. They're watercolor. I had to put some of them on because some of these stickers you build straight onto the kit as you're constructing. You can't just wait until the end when you want to start refurbishing. You actually have to put them on immediately. But the only thing I did that was any kind of modification is I took a marker. Sorry about that. I grabbed one of these and I painted the mono eye because it's a little easier than just, cutting out and doing the water slide and waiting for it while, I'm waiting to do the rest of the kit. I just, I'll color this up, and then when I go back and I give it a top coat, when I do the panel lining and I put on the rest of them, I can just pop it off and do it at the same time. But yeah, overall, you get a lot of parts here that for example, it's not like here, you get a completely, you could build another shoulder kit but what was interesting to me is usually when you get these extra parts, it's from the original kit, so it's in that color. You don't actually have to use it, but this is a completely new color that's unique to this model, to the Uma Lightning, but you get all of these extra pieces, so it's almost like you can color code it how you want and mix and match how you want to do with this little aqua blue and light gray, which, look, the biggest selling point of this is the color scheme. It's a unique color scheme and I really like it, but overall the build process is nothing special. It's If you've built one, you've built them all. So in terms of accessories, you get the standard loadout you're gonna get with pretty much every Zaku, bazooka, I can never remember the name of these, mega launcher, I can never remember the names, rifle and a heat hawk, and you get a spare ammo that you could just clip onto the belt. But one of the things I really like about these RG Zakus is you get this little piece which you can clip onto the shoulder armor here, and it's pretty weapon storagey, so you can just clip this on, clip this on, and like there's little divots and little places where you can hook things on here. So that's nice, but the problem is it works with it when it's just these two, but when you start putting on these bazookas and mega launchers, it can't handle the weight, so it just starts to, you have to put it on a stand if you're really that obsessed. It knocks it over. But overall with accessories, nothing special. It's what you're gonna get with all the Zaku kits, but like I said earlier, if you're into customization, you have a load here, you get some extra hands, but you also, for example, you can replace the cap, the helmet with a blue helmet. You can make it white shoulder armor. The possibilities, or you can make it a gray shoulder armor, like with the spikes. So in terms of accessories, you're not getting anything that you haven't gotten before with either the RG or the MG Zakus, so yeah. So in terms of articulation, I'm not gonna go through it all again. Like I said, you can watch the Zaku mine layer, but as I've said 1,000 times before with these kits, luckily this one's holding up a little better, but they have a tendency to disintegrate, and especially these shoulder armors, they pop off. It has a bit of trouble standing on its own, and I'm just gonna glue these in because I'm fed up with them. These little things that peg in there, they pop off like no one's business. So yeah, overall articulation is pretty good. It's based on the old Johnny Raiden kit, which had good articulation, but like I said, everything just pops off at a moment's notice. So that is something to bear in mind. So guys, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up. Like I said, not a long review, but here's my final thoughts. Is it an essential kit? No, it's not. If you're hankering for a P-Bandai Zaku tube, if you're a sucker for these like I am, for these, as I call them 100 times, like the named Zakus, Gabby Hazard, Uma Lightning, Johnny Raiden, the Brennis Ox, the Zakus that are P-Bandai, there's not much known about them. Yeah, sure, grab it, but it's nothing spectacular. It's not gonna blow you out of the water, and you're pretty much buying it for the name and the color scheme alone, which was fine for me. I love Uma Lightning. I loved where he comes from, the Johnny Raiden manga, which I would recommend to everyone. And if you're interested in that kind of thing, I love the color scheme. And like I said, Bandai has me by the balls when it comes to just, as soon as they announce, oh, new, blah blah, Zaku 2, he was you never heard of him before because he was never in the manga and he was never in the anime or the movies or anything, but trust us, he was there during the 1 Year War, and he was cool, and he has this cool random suit and it's the exact same model, but it's, you're a sucker. I'm a lore sucker is what I'm getting at. So if you're like me and you're just into P-Bandai, or you're into all these named Zakus, go ahead, get it. It's not readily available, but it shouldn't be too hard to find if you look online. But if you're just looking for a Zaku 2 to build in terms of RG, I can't really recommend. Just get the standard one because you're gonna have your struggles, kind of like I did, and why blow the money on something that isn't essential? But all that being said, thanks for hanging in there, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy, guys.
Gandamu, Gandamu, Shmo, da 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 da.